Hello everybody, my name is Connor and I am here with Shanks v Uta, little father v daughter, and I'm playing my buddy and we're playing casual, not even at a tournament. I'm testing this Shanks deck and I think he's testing his Uta deck, which is why he started to do his turn before I did my huge play of getting my one down and passing. So I will have a deck list below, but I'm not really thrilled with it. I do like running the zero cost event, but there's a couple cards that I'm not sure, and there's a couple different deck lists that I've seen that all kind of look alright. So my opponent is going to go ahead and tap one. I think that's New Genesis, if I'm not mistaken. Grabbing the 7-drop Luffy blocker. I wish he didn't. That's a big body that he can cheat out there. And, yeah, kind of a bummer. So we're going to draw for turn, getting a 2K, and I believe that's Lime Juice. Not terrible. But still, not as good as I'd like it to be. Nothing to do early game, which I feel like a lot of Shanks experience that. So we just swing the 8 and he takes. I think one thing I would change is I think I would add a couple of, I think his name's Usopp's dad. I would add a couple of him into the list because I feel like that helps, especially when you get thrown off of the second turn. I've heard that Shanks wants to go second. I've also heard some Shanks want to go first. So I'm a little confused, but I'm always confused. So my opponent goes ahead and taps 4, but he wants to change his play, and it's local. It's not even local, so yeah, go ahead. He's gonna, instead of playing the Brook and cheating out another body, he plays Uta, ditching the backlight to give his leader a Rested Dawn. This is the Uta from the new starter deck. I think really helped the Uta, and hey, he gets the Uta from the old starter deck. So we take and we get the Rayleigh blocker, pretty good blocker. Definitely not against having blockers. And especially because I feel like a lot of Shanks just, you want to survive till late game. So, we have a couple of different plays. I am running the Searcher Uta in this list. I don't know exactly if I want to continue to run the Searcher Uta. I know that a lot of lists, it seemed like the lists that I was looking and referencing were pretty split on it. And so I think I have a couple of options, but not really great options. I can't pop Uta with Marco, even with the Otama in my hand. So we're just trying to find something to do here. I think we're just going to go ahead and poke 5, see if we can get a rested blocker or a card out of hand. And we end up getting the Bart out of hand, which is pretty good. And we're just going to drop Marco with no ability, just to have a bigger body on board. I don't think, off the top of my head right now, I don't think that Uta has anything that can remove Marco, and if she does, if she has something that can KO Marco, I do have an event in my hand, but, you know, it kind of depends on what happens this turn. This game was played a couple weeks ago at this point, so I don't remember much about this game. But yeah, as I said, I'm still trying to find a Shanks list that feels good. So if you guys have a Shanks list, you're playing Shanks, you're loving it, please send me the list. I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts and feelings on Shanks and various different cards such as Uta or Usopp. But my opponent's going to go ahead and tap 4 for Brook into another Uta. So he is got blockers for days, which scares me, quite frankly. He's going to go ahead and discard a card to get the Uta ability, getting a Gordon, which I think is a 2k 0 power. I go ahead and use leader ability there and 1k, making that a 5k swing. And then they swing with their blocker, and they swing 6. I give them the Otama there. Pretty solid 2k. I think Otama is such a good 2k in every red deck. And honestly, I think the last red deck I played was either Zoro or, what is his name, Marco? So it is fun to be back on red. Red is one of my favorite colors. I think my favorite color, I can't pick anything but green, honestly, as far as One Piece. Definitely really feeling purple. I've always really liked purple, but red, I don't know, it feels good to turn off brain and rush face. Speaking of turning off brain and rushing face, we do have 2 of the, what is his name? 10-drop Shakes. So here I think I technically misplay, if I'm not mistaken. I swing into the Uta, and we actually get it off board. And if I had dropped Rayleigh and then swung, because I think that's what I'm doing here. I think that's why I keep looking at my hand and Rayleigh's up front. If I had dropped Rayleigh first, I would have been able to draw some cards. But this is like the second game I've played with Shanks at this point. So, yep, we drop Rayleigh. Nothing happens, which, yeah, bit of a misplay there. Yeah, definitely. I don't know how I feel about Shanks. I don't like that I can't do much early game. I think it's very opposite from Purple Luffy. And I like Purple Luffy, how Purple Luffy plays, how I'm always doing something. And it just feels a little slower until I get to 10. Because, I can't ramp like Purple Luffy. I just have to get there on my own. So I think here we're just talking about the fact that I did like misplay. Because as I mentioned, we're both trying out our decks. We're both learning, and honestly, like as I said, like he did make me want to try a Uta deck, unfortunately. But I think I am gonna, if I play green, I'm bringing back Rosinante for the sure. But yeah, I don't know if I'll keep Shanks. I'll keep Shanks built because I have a buddy who wants to play Shanks, and I already built him. But, yeah, not sure how I feel about this deck. It's not as scary now that I kind of know how to beat it, but, yeah, so he's going to go ahead and swing 6 into Marco, leader ability, get the 9-drop Shanks, which is a bit scary. I don't really want Marco to die, so I'll go ahead and just leader ability that, and then the Luffy into Gordon, and then he'll swing 5 at lead, and I'm fine taking that. And we get another Rayleigh, so I think Rayleigh is a good option this turn. We get our guard point. At 9 Dawn here, Rayleigh's a great option. Absolutely, Rayleigh's insane. So we could do the drop a Rayleigh, clearly the one alt-art Rayleigh we have, and then keep one up for guard point, potentially. And I think in this case, I think our best bet, I think I'm trying to pick what I want to do. I think Gordon is actually really valuable in this for Uta because, and I'm reading it here, and if I remember in editing, I will post a picture. He lets you discard an event as a counter. And I think that's pretty good because I know Uta runs a lot of events. So I want those events to be bricks. I don't want them to be counters, so I'm thinking about minusing some of his bodies on board and then popping the Gordon. So I'll go ahead and play Rayleigh. I'll minus Big Luffy by 3, and then I'm going to minus Uta by 2. We're going to get our dice up there. Yeah, there's the 2. So Luffy by 3, Uta by 2, and I will pop the Gordon. I will go 6 into Brook. He lets him go. 5 into lead, and he ends up taking, and we will go ahead and pass turn, not really wanting to swing the Rayleigh. I think swinging Rayleigh would have been okay there. I think he's at 3 life. I think we're both at 3 life, if I've counted correctly, which I could not. So he drops it. My opponent is going to go ahead and drop a new Genesis, searching the top 3 or 5. I can't remember right now. I think it's 3. And grabbing another event. I'm not familiar with the Uta starter, or not the starter, but the event Uta. You know what I mean. It's been a long week. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so he's gonna go ahead and grab another event. I think. Oh, maybe that wasn't an event. I don't know. I'll put a picture of it up. I'm so sorry. I'm not familiar with Uta at the moment. I only have room in my brain for like 2 thoughts, so he's gonna go ahead, scoot his characters aside here, and potentially play out. What could he play out? He could play out a. He does have the 9 Shanks, but 9 Shanks can only pop something rested, and so definitely not worth the. What is it? Not worth killing Marco. I don't think. So, yeah, a couple of different options there. I'm thinking next turn we're either going to drop another Rayleigh or probably 10 Shanks. I think 10 Shanks is too good in this situation, especially because he is playing so many blockers. My opponent is separating out some of his Dawn, just trying to figure out what he wants to do here. We are sitting okay. I'm a little nervous. Our hand feels kind of bricked for sure. And there is, I believe that's backlight. And it's going to rest the Rayleigh, or kill the Rayleigh, excuse me. Oh no, rest the Rayleigh, I thought so. So that definitely scares me. I'm really glad at this point we kept one up for guard point. But he does have the Rayleigh minusing his blockers right now. So he has to give a lot more Dawn than he probably wants to. So he is going to swing pretty aggressively into, I believe, Marco or Rayleigh. Oh, he's going to swing into Rayleigh. Fine by me. I let him go at this point. Getting the... Oh, I'm invincible. I'm not used to that art. Yeah, so the I'm invincible comes through. Swinging at Rayleigh, swinging at... what is his name? The Marco. And I am thinking about going ahead and countering out. So I think this is I'm not sure if this is a misplay. I give him 2 cards there. Realistically, I think I should have just Marco'd ability, and that's what he's saying here is like, why didn't you just Marco ability? And I'm like, because I didn't think about it. So bit of a misplay on my part, and now our hand, it's looking kind of tough. We are at 10 Dawn, which is nice, but we have no counter in hand, no blocker, 10 Shanks, and 2 Rayleighs. Looking kind of rough. But with the 10 Shanks, that's a pretty solid hit if you ask me. But I think I might be thinking about playing the another Rayleigh. Yeah, I don't hate that. This allows me to pop the Uta and just pressure his life. So we swing 6 with the Marco, getting a 2k in the 2k Sanji, 8 with the Rayleigh, getting another life down, and then a 7. Hoping he's gonna block with the Luffy to get that guy off of the field. And he is thinking about what he wants to do. I think he was just showing that Sanji to somebody there. I countered out with that Sanji. I blanked. I thought he... No, he ends up taking that. Okay. I was like, I blinked. But yeah, so now we're sitting in a pretty good position. He used the I'm Invincible's last turn to clear board. And now he has a small Luffy. And I will be free, with his 1 life, I will be free to just drop a 10 Shanks to secure lethal next turn. So I don't hate that. If he has another I'm Invincible, we might be in trouble. If he has 2 more I'm Invincibles, we might be in trouble for sure. But yeah, I think one of the problems I have with the Shanks list as well is I only own 2 Red Hawks, and I don't want to buy them right now. They're very expensive, or at least last I checked, they were pretty expensive. So I'm trying to find a list that where I can run 2 Red Hawks, and I don't need 4, which is tough. So leader Uta swinging 6, leader ability for the Brook, getting more counter in hand. I'm gonna go ahead and counter out our leader ability, not realizing that it's 6 and I don't have another counter. So I just go ahead and take. We get a Rayleigh. Also, if you guys like that sleeve, I did design that myself. It's available on 1000 Noble. I do design card sleeves. They're really fun to design, but they are kind of pricey to print, so I don't get to print them much. But I do have some Corona sleeves in stock right now. But just, yeah, so he's up to 9, trying to figure out what he wants to do, really. Couple of options. I think potentially playing a 9 Shanks isn't a bad idea. And yep, he is going to play 9 Shanks and pop the pretty Rayleigh. Very unfortunate. My board doesn't look as clean anymore. And we do end up drawing into Dragon. So we do have the option of... It's very tempting. We could drop Dragon, spread some Dawn, or... put the rest of down on Marco and put 2 down on Shanks. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't hate that play. I think that Shanks is a good play, but I think that this really, I don't know, it feels more aggressive to me. I don't feel like he has a ton in hand right now. He does have a blocker though, which is a little scary. So he is going to go ahead and give me, I think, 3k to get out of that swing. Yeah, and then I'll go another 7. And I get rid of the dice there, just because none of them are minused. So the 8 from the Rayleigh coming in, and he blocks. And the 9 from the Dragon, he is bricked. So I think ultimately, because of the blocker, the large blocker of the field, I don't think that Dragon was a bad play. It's possible Shanks could have been a better play, but I'd have to do the math, and if you know me, I hate math. So yeah, so that is my game. Sorry about the weird commentary. I feel a little out of it, guys. I'll be real. But yeah, that is gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, hit that like button down below. Helps me out more than you can ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.